Hi, I'm live now. Hi, welcome, hello. I'm glad you could be here. Thank you very much for your time. I, of course, am Dennis, and this is my channel, OKSDM, where I make mistakes running games so you don't have to. And today we are doing part 3 of reviewing a stream I ran, I feel like several months ago now. It was a one-shot for Sagas testing a setting that we'll be publishing with the core rulebook, or not with the core rulebook, after the core rulebook. It's called Grim. And if you haven't watched the first 2 parts, I highly recommend doing that, unless you're watching live. In that case, please don't leave. Stay here. Thank you again for being here. I'm very excited for this installment in particular, because we, at long last, after 2 parts already, have reached the combat section of the game that I ran. This game was run over on ADH Druids on Twitch, and the cast is a bunch of all-stars, all of them content creators, all of them wonderful role players, as you'll see during our stream today. And I think it's just time to, finally get into it. I've been waiting for a good long while for some time to be able to do this. I apologize for no notification whatsoever that I was going to be running this, doing the stream. But I'm very happy that you're here. I'm glad you could make it, and welcome in. So, without further ado, let's begin our review. So, the first thing I'd like to call out, and this is probably much too small for anybody to see unless you're full screen on a TV or desktop, but this full stream is 3 hours and 40 minutes long. I am right now right at the beginning of the combat, and it is at 2 hours and 10 minutes in. So that means combat plus the epilogue that we did plus the wind down of the stream all together took an hour and a half. And that's normal for almost every single one-shot I've run. If you are running a one-shot that has a big, bad combat in it, my recommendation, and what I have found to work best, is to start that combat about halfway through. Even though it's supposed to be like the big climax at the end, it should start halfway through or earlier. Otherwise, you're going to be forced over your goal time. And for streams, this is particularly important, because obviously you know the people you're streaming with, and you want to respect their time. You don't want to force them to have to go over what they have committed to on their calendar in order to, finish this combat. So starting the final combat of a one-shot halfway through the stream or earlier, or halfway through the session, even if you're not streaming, or earlier, is ideal, because it usually takes so long. And I guess I shouldn't really be using halfway, because you might be doing a 5-hour stream, or you might be doing a 1-hour stream. I don't know. Most of mine are 3 hours, give or take an hour. And the combat and epilogue portion usually takes about an hour and a half. And so I think for this one we did end up going over. I meant to start it about an hour and a half in, and the combat started at 2 hours and 10 minutes in. So the combat started late. I missed the mark, and we did end up going over. Fortunately, everyone was able to stay late, which was nice, but I try to avoid doing that when possible. So, without further ado, they are about to roll their reactions for turn order. Again, I'm running Sagas, which is the game I designed, setting and genre agnostic system, in the Grim setting. Everyone is critters. This is sort of a steampunk-esque setting where it's sort of like dark intrigue. They have infiltrated this laboratory in Victorian era, and they have only recently run into each other. It is all nice and creepy, and they've just encountered the mechanical cat zombie that has been stalking them throughout the entire rest of the show. The creature finally moved to attack, and this is the reaction roll in response to that. So let's get started. All right, anybody get a 10 or higher? 9, 8, 7.
I forgot about
8.
this part. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. Like nothing bad is about to happen, but like the countdown is still like awful. I hate it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Darwin. 2.
That was Hudson.
Did Hudson have
It
a
was
2?
me. Yeah, sorry. It's like, why is it so quiet?
And
I
the
realized this amazing
experienced-
ambient soundscape went down.
The experienced in combat Sprinkle with a 1.
He's not the only one.
Oh
Literally
no,
not the
no!
only
Sprinkle is going last. The opposite. His
Yeah.
partner, the
Yep.
inexperienced
The
one, is the one with
inexperienced
the
one
jump
is
in
going
this.
the one. Yep.
He's eager, ready to go.
I'm a dog against a cat. I mean, it's appropriate.
All right.
Mhm.
So I've paused it here. Again, I forgot to mention I'm watching this on 1.25 times speed because otherwise we'll never get through the whole thing. This is a strategy that I started using in D&D for rolling initiative, and it really, really helps rack up the tension, where you start at the high numbers, or the good numbers, I guess. In this case, I didn't quite do it right. I meant to start lower at the good numbers, because I find that instead of asking, okay, what's everyone's initiatives, and everyone shouting numbers at me and I have to like scramble to write them down, I started doing what Matt Mercer does in Critical Role, and asking anybody 25 to 20, 15 to 20, 10 to 15, and, you know, asking for sections like that. But I find a count down 1 by 1 or count up is much more effective in instilling that tension in the players. Just like Duval mentioned during this, like, he hates the countdown because it makes him feel but that's exactly what I'm going for, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, and I know he doesn't actually hate it because there was a laugh afterwards. You know, we're having a good time here. It was a good kind of hate. And that is, I think Saga's really, really shines here as well, because there are fewer options for rolling your turn order. In this case, I really only have to count up from 1 and see how bad people got until I get to everyone. I do like in D&D where you can do the actual countdown. Yes, please steal the countdown. I love it so much. And the one hiccup that can result from it is a little bit of miscommunication. So when I do it, I make sure I do it slowly. Because if you go 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, then someone who's not listening and rolled a 17 will actually raise their hand at 15, you know? So if you do it more slowly, they will have that opportunity, especially with like time lag over a video call. Make sure that you are going slower than that lag will be. So yeah, I find that works at almost every single table I run, and I use it especially for boss combats like this. You are up first. So how combat in Sagas works map-wise, we are doing Theater of the Mind.
Mhm.
The cat thing is as big as Tobias. This thing is very large, larger than most cats. Its mechanical form gives bends into a prowl as it prepares to launch itself, its mouth still open and glowing. Tobias, there is a zone between you and this cat, so you are in mid-range.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to have to move up to it in order to attack.
So, here's the problem with being a police officer. I got stuff. So So it is, and to be clear, it is like is launching, like narratively, it is launching.
It's ready to attack. It's
Yeah,
about
okay.
to just
Okay.
maybe incinerate you. You have no idea.
No,
what's
no
gonna
clue,
happen.
no clue. And I think just like instinctually, he kind of takes out his left forepaw and slides it down the front of the that armor, and it sort of flips up and around and reveals this small casing that then you kind of hear, because it's steampunk, so why not? You hear a whir and a click, and it becomes a fucking big ass rifle. And
America.
yeah, I don't know what you were, or what you are. No, thank you. And he's gonna fire at it.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll. But before you do, it is probably going to be necessary for at several points during this combat for you to help and combo with each other.
Yes.
Because this thing is formidable.
Yep.
Combos have to be declared before the attack roll is made, and what combos do is you spend 2 effort, and if the attack hits, it deals an extra damage. Help can be declared afterwards, and it adds an extra die.
Okay.
And you just hear him say behind me as he gets ready to fire. But if anyone wants to do anything with that.
So right there, my explanation of exactly how combat works, I think, was important, because a lot of these people, I think Duval's the only one on here that has never played Sagas before. The other 3 are completely new, and it is one of the mechanics of the game that is very easy to forget that you can do. And it's very, very necessary in many situations, like making sure you know what tools you have in your toolbox in order to get, like, 1, tell the story you want to, and 2, do the cool attack moves you want to, or like help your allies, especially in Sagas. So I thought a real quick explanation of easily forgettable rules before going into their first combat was ideal timing. Just to refresh people's memories, that especially those that have only read the rule book, or maybe not even read the rule book. Like making sure that it's a short and sweet explanation, I think is a good decision for entering someone's first combat.
I'm gonna help, but I think I do that post roll. But just know I'm gonna use the. I think I'm on your.
If
I think
necessary.
I went back up to your collar. So
Yeah. Cool.
All right, go ahead and make your roll.
You're his sight.
Detargeting. Watch out. That's a 4 on a D10.
A 4?
Mm-hmm.
That is not going to hit.
I did. Oh, that is not good. That is not good for a 4 to not to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
how does the help work here?
So you will spend 2 effort, and you will describe how you assist in this attack roll. And then Tobias will get an extra die, and which basically means a reroll.
Reroll. Yeah.
I think this is worth it. This seems like, you know. So how did Tobias miss?
The shot itself was dead on. It just hits this creature's shoulder, and there are sparks as the bullet flies and embeds itself in the wall, leaving the barest scratch on it.
Okay. Sprinkles is in just full-on fight or flight. You know, he's like alert and present. He has to care about and be very engaged in what's happening. And so he has this there's a level of adrenaline that is pumping from the situation that was absent on up until this point. And he's gonna run up and across the recently assembled rifle. He's gonna essentially sit on top of it where the sight would be, and he's gonna yell to Tobias, "Shoot it in the mouth, shoot it in the blue part."
I'm trying.
Reload. And you fire again for this help. Go ahead and make another roll.
All right. No, 9.
You're literally about to fire inside this thing's mouth, and the weight of Sprinkles jumping onto your gun just points it downwards, and it right into the floor.
Okay.
Just trying to say I've never used this before.
Poof, poof, 2 shots ring out inside this room. Hudson, you're up.
So I'm gonna spread my wings and launch into the air and just yell, "Darwin, I'm coming back for you." So question about the combo. Let me say what I want to do, and I think I'm just not clear on sequence of events. What I would like to do is fly and drop my little 1 ounce bottle with a hanky
Yeah.
and yell for Tobias to shoot it when it hits this cat.
Out of character. I love this plan. I am here for this, Tobias. Like Duval, the dice gods, may they be kind.
Right? Yeah. Like the end of this fight very quickly.
Real like good luck and Godspeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So I guess I don't know if that is me offering to combo on Tobias's next turn and thus kind of using mine as a held action, or yeah, I don't know. What that is what I would like to do.
You could. Here's my suggestion. You light the Molotov and drop it. Since you're only dropping it and not throwing it, I'm not going to ask for a check. It will detonate inside that zone. I will, however, allow Tobias or someone else to combo with this and do something to impact upon how much damage it does.
How about
So I'm rewatching this, and I kind of taking back my my decision here. I think that how I would do this in hindsight is I would have, because right here Hudson, whose turn it is not actually taking an action, because this dropping of the mini Molotov is not making a check, so there's no action to be had. So what I would do is actually require a check for that as he drops the Molotov. And then Tobias can combo and hopefully do extra damage by shattering the thing. Or help. I mean, the cool thing about help and combo is they can be flavored exactly the same way and have different mechanics. Or you can flavor them differently and say this is a help to make sure you hit, and this is a combo to, deal more damage. In this case, I think it's both, because the firing of the Molotov is going to hitting the Molotov and breaking it open is making sure that it does break open in the first place, but also so that it does extra damage. So I think it could fit into either one. And what I think I should have done is asked Tobias what sort of whether he wanted this to be a help or a combo based on Hudson's check to drop this mini Molotov onto the robot cat.
What if Hudson drops it and Darwin combos by teleporting and like grabbing it and like throwing it on the head or like specific target?
Oh shit! Cool.
I will allow that.
Yeah.
Can I catch Darwin out of harm's way at the end of this?
So here's
much
what
happening?
happens.
Yeah, that's a good.
You
that's a lot.
fly up and with your claws quickly like light a match, light the Molotov and drop it. You are slightly off center. Darwin, you see this and you teleport. You like hit the button on your shoulder. Flash! You appear right underneath it and begin falling with it. You catch the thing and hurl it straight into the cat's open mouth, and it just shatters. It deals total of 3 damage, 2 from the explosion and 1 from the combo. Darwin, this costs you 2 effort.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind, everybody, when you fail a check, you get another effort. I forgot about that earlier.
Very important.
Oh, yeah, that's
'Cause
right.
I was down to 1 earlier, and I forgot. I was like, I'm actually at 3 right now.
I'm at,
Did I
so,
fail it?
so
I can't remember.
I'm at 2 efforts still because I had 4 effort and only
But
2
it
health.
can't go above your max, correct?
Right.
You
Right.
cannot go above
I've-
your max.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
at my max the whole time, so I didn't
So-
gain any from failing the vision.
but-
Okay.
Okay.
Also,
I-
just for like visuals, so like you Sprinkles and Tobias will see like kind of like the electricity just like zaps and poof, and like there's probably like a little bit like residual like sparks from where he was to that place, and then poof, like you just see him just poof. So,
And you
Can I
fall
ask
to the
a-
ground. It's not so far down that you take damage. You just on all fours, still smoking a little bit from the teleport.
can I also, since my turn is technically the next, just use this opportunity to examine any of the mechanical parts and see if I could discern any weaknesses, since I just was examining very closely similar items?
This would have to be your action.
Okay. Yeah, because I threw it in his mouth, and so now I'm going to take this opportunity because I'm assuming it's disoriented in some way. I don't know if it is or not. I'm just like, I'm going to scurry and like examine it as best I can.
The cat cyborg gives out this mechanical this scream. The hair on its face and back have caught fire, giving it this even somehow more terrifying visage
I hate
as
it
it
here.
swings its eyes and stares down Darwin at its feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna, since I have craft with like mechanics, like can I use a D8 on this as like a check to see if I can discern like any sort of weaknesses that we can target?
Let me see what exactly the rules for craft are.
It says checks you make to craft using the tools of your trade, maybe use a D8. So I don't know if that would...
Right. So you're not actually making something here.
Okay. So I'll just do a base D10 then, right? Of like examining. Okay. Base D10.
As we are imagining, just movement-wise. Oh, that looks like yes.
That's a 1.
Amazing.
Does Hudson have enough like movement across this room to like? He wants to get the fuck out of the way after dropping this thing. Even as worried as he is about Darwin, I want to like make sure that I'm where I think the cat cannot get me, if possible.
The movement you spent was to get to where you are to drop it. So you are still right there in this moment.
Great. Perfect.
With that 1, though, you look over this cat and you can see the stitching between where there is metal and where there is flesh is very, very weak. That is its weak point.
Okay. I'm just gonna call. I was like, aim for the where the flesh meets the metal. He's just gonna yell that out.
All right, you still have a move.
I still have a move. Can I climb it? Since I'm like
you
right
want to climb
underneath
the flaming cyborg cat.
Well, it's the head's on fire, right?
Yes, the head is on fire.
I can like scurry like up its like one of its legs and like get on its back where there's no fire.
Okay, yeah, 100%. You quickly scurry and get onto its back. All right, that is your turn. And unfortunately, the cat is next.
I'm sure it is.
So I think this combat is already going very, very well. I literally have no notes so far about what is happening here, except for that one sort of mishandled how I would have done the Molotov in hindsight. Obviously, how it ended up was perfect anyway, but mechanically, they just sort of did 3 damage for free, and that's a little bit broken, especially for Sagas. But other than that, like this is really, really fun to rewatch and everything. Like if you have questions, please ask them because I'm on my fucking game here.
Boo, cat, boo. I'm a dog person. And also a dog.
The cat sort of like rears, trying to bite you off of its butt. And it looks up at Hudson and looks at its 2 enemies across the way with the gun and is going to target the largest thing, the biggest threat.
Yep, that sounds right.
I need both Tobias and Sprinkle to please make an avoid check.
Great.
No. Wait, would small make this any different? No, probably not, right?
No, small affects how you can fit inside other people's zones.
Got it. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Actually, I'm gonna use this dice instead. Oh, not great. Can I use effort to reroll this, or is it just only on like combat related stuff?
You can. You can boost your own roll, but it costs 3 effort to do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off. I rolled a 6.
I got a 2.
Okay.
It's my best roll of the
Nice.
evening.
Yes, it is.
Finally.
You quickly scurry up back to your spot in the collar and just hit the deck right behind Tobias's big furry head. And Tobias, you take the full brunt of a giant electrical blast coming straight out of this thing's mouth like a dragon. You take 2 points of damage.
Wow.
The floor between Tobias and the cat is scorched. The air begins to smell immediately like ozone and overworked motors.
He's not looking good at all.
Tobias himself has been dried off from the rain outside at last, but there are patches of fur that have been burnt off. The skin underneath is raw.
He's not feeling good. He's feeling real bad.
It
Mr.
is.
Stark.
It is Sprinkle's turn.
There is.
So mechanically, I think I'm gonna have to be creative because my 2 items are my kick-ass steampunk grappling gun, of which I feel like has more than kind of paid for itself, and then the megaphone I use to try to get Hudson and Darwin to like, come out of hiding. So I think that's it, right? I don't have any other materials.
Can I make things even more difficult for you? As the like smoke kind of clears and like Tobias is kind of like staggering. Gulf, I need you to get them out of here.
Don't do this right now. Wait, sorry, I got a big push. Don't do this right now, okay? Don't even worry about this. Dennis, we're about to take a long shot. This is like from the middle of the court. The other skill that I have is sweet talk. I don't know the degree of sentience that this cat possesses, or if sound reason.
Let's fucking go. Sweet talk this insane robot cat.
Okay, so I do have thoughts on this general situation. You know, the classic, I'm gonna seduce the dragon. And I don't remember what I... Oh, and you're here. Hey, Vampire Himbo, welcome in. I don't... right now, you are trying to sweet talk the insane cybercat. I don't remember how I ended up handling this situation. Normally, like this is classic seduce the dragon kind of situation, where I'm always torn when this comes up, because on one hand, yes, that's cool and fun and wild and would be crazy. On the other, that would just end the combat right here and would not feel like this epic, you know, just this crazy ending boss fight. It would be like, ah, ha 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 ha, we seduced the bad guy and now we're friends. And that's, especially for Grim, the setting that this was played in is supposed to be dark. That's not really the vibe we were going for. I know it's the vibe of these players though. So I don't know. I will see what I do here, because, you know, rewatching this, I have no idea what I would decide. And usually when I'm like 50-50 on something, I will go yes and. So I think what I do here is I go for it. So we'll see what happens. I know this combat. I know how this combat ends. We all know how this combat ends, but I don't remember how this situation resolves itself.
So let me get this straight. You're gonna try to seduce the dragon.
They even use the same phrase. Amazing.
You said that earlier. Yeah, you did.
You like decided to put on clothes. I am like anthropomorphically naked. And yeah, maybe I'll shoot my shot at this one. I'm thinking at minimum, could I like do something that would either distract it or put it at a disadvantage for the next attack or the next person? The other thing I have would be to investigate, which I don't know.
So is your goal? I'll ask you to. That really saved me. That suggestion of maybe instead of this being like a combat ending thing, make it just like help for the next one or something like that. I think that's my out here. That's my happy medium compromise. So thank you for suggesting that. That was amazing. Tell me whether your goal is to end the combat right now, or and then I go and screw it up. Become this thing's only target.
Great question.
Is talking a free action in this?
Not if it requires a check.
No, all Dorman's gonna say is he has a plan. Like, I have a plan.
My the 2 traits I chose were small and tough, so I do have a little bit of HP. And I'm trying to think. This thing went how many turns ago? I'm trying to like remember the turn order. One turn, so
Oh.
it just went. Okay.
Yeah, just blew me up.
Yeah. I think that
So there are I want to make sure you know all of your options first.
Yeah, please.
Because there
Now's the
are
time.
several actions that are not like make a check and attack.
Yeah.
You can remember them by A, B, C, D, E. A for attack, B for brace, which means if you are attacked before your next turn, the damage will be dealt to your effort instead of your health.
Right.
Then there is C for make a check, D for dash, or you can move and then you can move again for an action, and then E for encourage. And for encourage, you communicate with an ally, encourage them, and give them any amount of your remaining effort.
Okay, and then what is the consequence for 0 effort?
Nothing.
Okay, excellent. Love that. I was like, I hope I've played a lot of Cthulhu recently. And I think there was
No. The only time where 0 effort is a problem is if you're actively dying, which none of you are.
okay, which is
Not
good.
yet.
We're gonna try to keep Tobias alive. I think I am going to encourage Darwin. Darwin seems to have like the technological wherewithal. I just watched like my partner like straight up shoot a shotgun at this thing to little to no effect. And so
Mhm.
I think the idea of Sprinkles trying to use any kind of conventional weapon against this thing, like he understands both with size and in terms of like firepower, that I think the best thing that he can do is encourage Darwin. And I'm trying. Where's Darwin? I guess,
Darwin is
so are
on
you
the cat.
down, Tobias?
Yep.
I think this is a great resolution. It gave me the opportunity to teach the players and the viewers about this cool little mechanic, like mnemonic device, to remember what your actions are that we had just come up with like a couple days before. Not come up with. It was actually someone else that came up with it, but we actually started implementing it into the actual rules a couple days before this happened. So before we streamed this, so it was a very good opportunity to use that, and it looks like it worked. And encourage, to be honest, isn't used by players as often as I think it should be. It is specifically for this situation where a player is in combat with a character that isn't really built for combat. You know, like you're still able to do things by spending effort and then trying and failing to do other things to get effort back. So even as long as one character is good at combat, someone in the party, you're good to face down monsters. If nobody's good at it, then you might have some struggles. Actually, even if nobody's good at it, you could just do like normal attacks with help, and that's actually a pretty good, balance. But I think encourage is probably one of my favorite and underused actions. So I'm very, very glad that it ended up being used here.
Okay, so I'm like on top of Tobias's collar.
Mhm.
And Darwin, where are you at?
On the cat.
Oh, the cat. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's flying somewhere around there. Yeah. Oh, yep.
I think I'm like right above the cat.
The cat. Yeah.
Cat's
I got
head.
it. I got it. All right, Darwin. Oh, I need you to make eye contact with me. I need you to lock it in. All right.
He's trying. I'm assuming the cat's like bouncing around.
Oh, yeah.
All right, today is your day, mate. This is your chance. All right. You are gonna leave here. You're gonna walk out of here. You're gonna see the entire world. But I need you to bring it home. All right. My partner is down. I have no defenses. It's up to you, mate. You've got this. All right. You can do this.
Oh, no pressure from the authorities, mate.
Oi! I swear, oh god.
Uh,
All right, how
Eye
much
contact makes me
effort are you giving?
I'm giving my remaining effort a generous and healthy one to
all
throw
right,
in.
that brings me up to 3.
All right. That is Sprinkle's turn. Back to the top with Tobias.
Considering the shotgun was a utter failure, and he's now up close and personal with this thing as it's like growling at him, is gonna lunge forward. Where the mechanism that blasted him, where is it on the cat?
Inside its throat.
Okay. But his throat he's doing this, right? I assume.
At this
Mouth
point,
is-
the blast has ended. His
Yeah,
mouth
his-
is not currently open.
Okay, well,
Can you hold it down?
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a thingy. So
like
I
things.
have one of my talents. One of the only combat talent I have is I have a level 3 in disarm, and so my intention is to drop the rifle and to either whatever's easiest, force the mouth closed, or rip it open and pull whatever the fuck that is out of it.
I like it.
Go ahead and make your check.
And I'm gonna burn
I
all
saw
3 of my efforts so I get a second dice. So it's gonna be 2d6.
Could I
All right.
combo with that one and sort of fly
Come on over here,
directly,
mate.
directly down? I'm not so sure about this Sprinkles character, but I think Tobias is a pretty solid dude.
Oh,
I want to sort of.
do you know I will physically fight you, Crow?
I will physically fly away from you, mate.
I
Can you guys stop arguing for
Hey,
1 minute?
I want to sort of just
Trying to save
dive
my lungs here.
right into this thing's eyes, and I want to sort of throw my wings out and scratch at this cat's blue sensor lights in it where its eyes used to be to combo. So hopefully Tobias can sort of really get in there.
All right. This is a combo, so no extra dice, but extra damage.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll one at a time because I think that'll be fun. First one's a 3. Second one's a 3.
No!
3 could be. 3 might be enough.
3 might be enough. We'll see. We know 4 wasn't great last time, so 3 might be enough.
I've heard 3 is less than 4.
I have heard the same.
People keep saying that.
They do keep saying that. Bye, effort. See you later.
So normally a disarm does not deal damage, but because of the combo, this 3 deals 1 point of damage as the claws from Hudson scratch the lenses on its glowing blue eyes. So I'm gonna pause here because I found a little critique on myself that I could do better. Once I said that it deals damage, is going to deal damage, then all the players knew that this is going to work. And at that point, it was still like in the air whether or not the 3 was going to be successful. And that was an opportunity that I did not take to go through the actual description and, dangle along whether or not they succeeded or failed in front of the players to ratchet up the tension even further. I think it was just a missed opportunity, and as when I said that succeeds pretty much right out the gate, and it was sort of like hidden in my phrasing and not like presented well. Like, here, you succeed. It's sort of like, you succeed and da-da-da-da-da, and I just keep going. There was a missed opportunity there that I should have jumped on. And the instant it opens its mouth, you take a paw and slash at its jaw, and with the other one immediately reach in, grab the mechanism that shoots lasers, and rip it out of its neck. And you can see it like pull this huge line of tubing out, and its whole neck is just like open now. You can see both mechanical things inside and like the esophagus, the flesh esophagus going down to its insides.
Okay.
Keep his mouth open. I have a plan. If you can.
Yeah, I don't know if I can, because that's my movement, my action. I don't think I have anything else, right?
Yes, but because of this, you have disarmed it, and it no longer has access to its laser cannon.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
fuck that cannon.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, he's still within melee though, so we'll see how that manifests. But
so I just mentioned that this is a laser cannon that was ripped out of the throat, and reminds me exactly what stat block I was using for this. I was using the large Cyber Dragon stat block, which is insane to me because it's just a cat. It's like a cat with metal, the zombie cyborg cat, right? But I used the Cyber Dragon stat block because I think it would fit the best, and boy howdy did it. I love reflavoring stuff inside sagas. It's so easy. And yes, you were in very much trouble, Duval. Tobias was on the, walking a knife's edge between life and death for most of this combat.
But and I'm out of effort as well, so I think that's me.
Okay. Next up
Actually,
is Hudson.
you know what? I will.
Go ahead.
I will say, even though it is like all scratched up, that bloody hurt. Just surrender. We can stop all this.
Think we got a
But just give up. For
And
Christ,
cry.
we want fuck. Ah!
All right, Hudson.
Because I comboed, does that mean I lose one of the things for my turn, or I still can
Nope.
do all the things? Oh, okay, amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and listen to something real quick because I never get the chance to listen to like the sound effects I do and whether or not they come through, because I notice a lot of times when other people do like sound effects or like screams or anything other than a normal speaking voice or like a very quiet whisper, something like this, then it like doesn't come through, and like the noise gate or the noise suppression, one of the two, just like puts a cap on it and silences the actual sound effect. So I want to listen to what this actually sounded like, because I thought it was very well done, because it was creepy and evil and bad and All right, Hudson.
Stop all this.
There
Think
it
we
is.
got a
But just give up. For
And
Nah,
Christ,
it was all right.
ah!
All right. I do like that vampire when the hood goes up. It is it's akin to standing up around an in-person table. It's ramping up. It's intense. You're invested. All right, Hudson.
Because I comboed, does that mean I lose one of the things for my turn, or I still can
Nope.
do all the things? Oh, okay,
No,
amazing.
you
You
just
still
burned
do all the
effort
things.
to
I
help, I think.
burned 2 effort.
So this is maybe potential combo opportunity that I would see if we can do this. Is the mouth still open? Like
The jaw has been knocked off. You can't close it anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gone.
So this is the combo that I want to do. I want to take my backpack off and like supercharge it, like overload it on purpose, and drop it into the gullet of this cat by with Hudson like helping me do that.
I think I know my mate's got a plan, right? So I'm gonna,
Sure.
in that
Yeah.
case, I think I'm gonna try to fly down and not really trying to go for height, but just grab onto the backpack and my mate Darwin and get like a little skittering flying hop so we're over the jaws and let him drop the backpack in more neatly.
So, 2 things to say here. First, love this kind of creative thinking that makes me have to, wrap the rules around how to figure out. They have a perfect gift for me, right? And I have to use the rules and mechanics of the game to wrap it up nicely, right? And I love that, like, I designed Sagas to do this well, and I'm so glad that I did, because I think right here I just like flavor it the same way as an explosive, like a normal explosive piece of equipment. Excuse me, maybe I didn't get enough sleep tonight. Maybe I'll nap later. But I love like being able to do that, to say, yes, this is what you do, here's how it works in the game. Because this bomb with the backpack giving up a teleportation ability, wild, amazing, love it. Second, yes, Jacob, I also literally was during this listening to my own boss battle music, and right now re-listening to it, am also listening to boss battle music. So I am right there with you. I've been... This is a bit of a side rant, but I've been experimenting with different ways to pump music through my system to my players. And I think I have a way to do it, but my internet doesn't like it. My internet's not like perfect, so I think it can come through sort of garbled sometimes. I don't know. I think I have to test it more and figure it out. But it's definitely something that I've been like trying to figure out, because when you're not using a virtual tabletop like Roll20 or Foundry with that built-in like music sharing thing, it is very difficult to find a way to make it work. All right, so you grab Darwin actually by the feet, and Darwin, you're upside down. And
Yeah.
the
It is. This
backpack
is the
dangling
director's
by
cut
a
you're
single
watching right now.
strap, and you're waiting for the cat to look up, and you drop it at the opportune moment. So how this is going to work, it is Hudson's attack, because it's Hudson's turn. And if it hits, it will deal extra damage because of Darwin's combo.
And so I have nothing and no abilities, so that is a 10 for me.
That is a straight 10.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Can I help him with this? Because like
If you have the effort to combo and help, yes.
combo is 2, right?
Yep.
And
so
F
is
and help. Oh, so I only have 3 of
I
4.
might be on my own here. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, little. Wait.
You
Yeah,
both
it's a
you
good
dumb
little
crow.
sparkly die. That's an 8.
No.
You know what? That happened.
The backpack swings wide as the
Okay.
cat looks up like it's about to bite onto Darwin, who's dangling, and as it takes a claw and swipes, it hits the backpack out of your hand, and the backpack clatters to the ground
Oh, it
like a
would've been so
couple
good.
feet away.
Okay. I put my heart in my throat for a second. I was like, oh god, he's gonna bat that thing over to me. Oh god. My life was
The
fine.
backpack
I'm not
did
that
not
mean.
explode.
Okay, so we can try again.
So,
I was freaking out.
All right, now you are in the air still,
Mhm.
and that is the end of your turn. And now it is Darwin's turn, who is hanging upside down from your claws.
I need fan art of that.
Desperately.
I need it so badly.
Toss me.
No, that's not special. Not like this. It was meant to be, honestly.
Oh gosh, what is? Go for the backpack or? Yeah, he's good at mark. Oh,
Did I hear that right? Did I hear that right? Did Jacob just say it was meant to be, honestly? Is that did I hear that? I'm gonna go back. I think that's what I heard.
No, that's not special. Not like this. It was meant to be, honestly.
Yes.
oh gosh,
Haha.
what is?
And we know now that it absolutely was meant to be. Oh, I love rewatching things where big, cool, and emotional stuff happened later. I love this.
Go for the backpack or? Yeah, he's good at mark. Oh. Yeah, I think he's gonna, I guess, ask to be dropped back on top of the cat and just go for like the weak point. Like, would there be like a place on like the back of the neck where like flesh and metal is that would be kind of weak that he can just start like punching
The
to like
fire atop its head on its like furry cat ears has nearly gone out and it's smoldering, and you can see a stitch that looks weak.
yeah, so like he's like drop me there and get the, and if you can get the backpack, but like I'm gonna go, and he's gonna like drop and try to like go at that stitch to like weaken it and like unravel it somehow, like punch
All right,
it.
mate, if you're sure. And I drop him.
All right. It looks like we're in the middle of an ad break right now.
That's so
So-
funny.
It already passed. It already passed.
Oh, it already passed? Cool,
Yep.
good. All right. So you drop, Hudson, you just drop your friend as requested. Very cautious and not sure what's going on, but with 100% trust in him. And Darwin, you begin falling, whoosh, like nosediving straight towards the back of this cat's neck. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Is it D8 since I have a 3 in martial arts?
Let's go.
I'm gonna, so I think I'm gonna do the Robin Hood double knee pile drive from the top onto this. Not Robin Hood, Robin from Batman, not Robin Hood.
Government, yeah.
Yes, that,
There you go.
yes.
I'm gonna probably get it too.
Sure.
That is a 2.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
Kill it,
describe
kill
what this
it,
looks
kill
like.
it.
So as he's dropped, he just, you know, and seeing like all these different like martial artists and like, you know, just imagining, you know, everything that he's learned from the, you know, the watching them every single day, and he just kind of like balls up and like puts his weight down to his, you know, what what he could probably consider knees as a rat, you know, and just like and just like drives it right into that stitched point to just try to just break it.
And we see that freeze frame. The background flashes to that, spiky splat as you see this onomatopoeia snap as something metal inside of its neck breaks, and you roll off of its neck onto the ground and sort of like skid backwards with one hand down and then look
hell
up
yeah.
at this thing.
Yes. Play pose.
Rat superhero landing? Are you kidding me?
Yes, that's amazing.
That was
It's
sick,
easier
man.
on
That
rat
was
knees because
honestly
they're
good on you.
Okay, and that was just you, right? That was not a combo with anyone.
That was
Just, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got no effort. for that.
One damage, and this thing is beat up, but it is still going strong.
I guess the movement will be like, since I don't know if that would count if I still have movement, because I just fell.
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna write that down. I don't know if we have that in there right now. Thank God we haven't finished editing yet.
Like,
but
he's
yeah,
gonna-
you will still have movement.
yeah, he's gonna just scurry towards the backpack then. And I'm gonna go let my dog back inside because he's wanting back in.
I do.
They do that. Dogs.
I think Sprinkles is giving Tobias. He's like chastising Tobias. Like, if you ever give me that martyr speech bullshit again, mate, I don't want to do this job without you. I'm not going to listen to that.
All right, Golf.
All right. After Darwin is the cat.
Yep.
Broken neck, both on the front and the back now. Its head sort of like lolling to one side, and it looks up, and its eye sort of flashes as it does. And it is going to... He's back just in time. So I think there was another missed opportunity here for that description that I just did. This is dark. This is scary. This is spooky time. I think I could have done much more than just like an eye flash with a zombie cyborg cat bad guy with like I feel like I could have done something scarier, like done like a hiss or something, or like a I don't know, something like that. This is quite a pause. Especially there's Duval's laughing face, gorgeous, and ADH Druid's eyes wide with fear. But yes, the like I feel like that description could have been more than just an eye flash. It was not an inspired description. Just hindsight of, like, again, missed opportunity. There was something on a tee, and I did not swing at it. The cat looks up at you, Darwin, having just glanced up at it, its neck hanging by a thread, and it glares at you with a glint in its eye, and it lunges forward with a claw and swipes. Go ahead and make an avoid check, please.
Straight D10, right?
All those movies, remember Darwin?
Oh no!
Your grandfather still.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That is a 9.
Oh no!
The entire party is dangerously low on effort.
Yep.
I have 1 effort left.
0 effort.
As the claw shoots out towards you, it suddenly unretracts, like extends even larger, sharper blades.
Oh,
large
no.
enough to cut you into ribbons. Now, I will remind you that you
To shreds,
can
you say.
help on an avoid check, just like
I want
any
to
other
help.
check.
I don't know. Yeah, I want. I
Yeah,
don't want my
I
little
would if I had effort. I would. I do not.
Hudson
All
still
right.
has 2 effort. As I'm starting to go towards a backpack, like I see this happen, and I'm gonna again go and just sort of flare my wings out in front of this cat to try to make it miss. That takes me from
All right.
2 down to 2 effort to help or 1.
2 effort to help.
I'm at 0 now.
Welcome to the party.
All right, Darwin, you get 1 more die on this.
All right.
Oh my god.
It's
It's a 7.
Oh,
It's a 7.
oh
Hudson,
bud.
you
comes.
you fly right in front of this thing's face and just rah, screech at it, and it is unfazed as a claw comes down whoosh, right across Darwin. Your wing blocks the camera's view for a moment.
Oh no!
Darwin, you take 3 damage.
Oh
Here
no.
we go. Decision time.
Do we have negatives?
Yeah, like what if he's in a medical coma or like?
I'm only have 2 health.
There are no negatives. You are now at 0. At 0 health, you have a decision to make.
Big one.
First option, you fall unconscious. You cannot take turns. It's all the classic unconscious stuff. You can't gain effort. You can still take damage and continue inching closer and closer to death. And you can still be healed if anyone has that ability. When you wake up, you will have a life-threatening wound that will take days to heal at the very least. Or you can take your last stand. You immediately gain 1 effort. All of your attacks deal an extra damage. All of your checks get an extra die. But you cannot be healed. You can only gain effort via the encourage action from your allies. And you lose 1 effort at the end of each of your turns. Damage you take will also reduce your effort instead of your health. And when you reach 0 health, not if, when you reach 0 health and 0 effort, you die. Last stand is an extreme power boost in exchange for certain death.
Ooh.
Don't take it. This thing is all out of character. It's almost dead. And druids, if you emotionally devastate me,
Like, Hudson's gonna have a real hard time with this shit.
Um,
Gonna
I'll
get
tell you that
drunk in
I
the
know the choice
crowbar.
that I made last time, and it was real fun.
so so taking this damage, can I say thematically that since he was on his way to the backpack, that the swipe pushed, like, made him slide right next to the backpack,
Oh, that's adorable.
Yes.
and so
Yes.
disoriented and severely wounded, he looks up at this cat and he sees that it's hurting. That definitely the next snap and everything was devastating, and he's looking around to his friend, to the the cops, though starting out as enemies, have helped him thus far, and he's seeing that how Tobias is wounded, right? Tobias is hurting, and even though it's been his life dream to leave, he gets up and puts on the backpack and charges the cat while also overcharging the backpack to take his last stand.
That's
The
fucking good.
whirring increases.
What you doing,
Shots
mate?
of electricity shoot across the entire room, lighting up in flashes. You have 1 effort from failing that check and taking damage. You have 1 effort from choosing to enter your last stand.
Okay, so that brings me up to 3. And hearing Hudson saying, "Hey, Darwin, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm giving you the fire you've always dreamed of."
But we were supposed to watch it together,
Aw.
mate. Outside.
And he just leaps. He's wanting to basically leap into the mouth with the overcharged backpack and just try to get it to detonate.
God damn it, druids.
So this is what the other half looks
scene-
like.
It's rude, honestly.
The scene slows as Darwin makes his final leap towards this abomination, and the camera lingers on Sprinkle. It is your turn.
I want to stop this. If possible, my idea is to take the
Fuck your last
that Tobias worked, that ripped out, and shoot it. Try to get it to, whether it's stomping on it, trying to get that component of it to make the same laser cannon.
This is going to be a multiple turn thing. First, I need a check to... figure out how it works. Figure out what the triggering mechanism is.
I'm a hacker, mate. I can do it.
Oh yeah. Oh, is this where we? Oh my god, is this where we like break bread?
This is it. This is
Trying
it
to
coming
shoot a bloody cat with a laser? I think it might be.
Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck?
Listen, I got an idea. He's gonna gesture to the thing that Tobias ripped out. Do you think you can use that?
Oh, well, I was just gonna steal it, but yeah, I can probably figure out how it works. Anything to save Darwin.
All right, all right. I mean, mechanically, Dennis, you tell me how this works. What
Oh my
should
God,
I
this
be
is
rolling?
crazy.
What should I be doing? This is my last stand for Darwin's last stand in this character, and I refuse to like think for days about how he never got to go outside. So I'm gonna at least try this.
I was
All right.
the nail in the
Go
coffin. Like,
ahead.
oh, I was
Go
like, Darwin's smiling as he's running because he's no, yeah,
If it's a constellation, I think you made the absolute right call.
yeah. He's just like,
But I refuse. We'll see.
Oh, let's go.
All right. I'm going to say this is going to be a check on your own to see if you can figure out how this thing works.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to give through that you'll be able to give Hudson a starting point, and it'll be much easier for him to figure out.
Got it. I mean, I have investigate, which I feel like is appropriate for this.
Yes, I agree.
No doubt.
Oh my god, my blood pressure right now.
Slow rolls,
Like,
slow rolls.
making me emotionally invested in this character, making me feel emotions.
I
Like
love
full
them.
stop. All right, here we go. What? That's the Yes! Yes! Hell yeah!
Come on.
Go.
Oh my god.
You
Wow.
literally, as you jump off of Tobias and run towards this thing, you see a triggering mechanism on it, and you say, "Push the orange button," and you just throw it as far as you can.
Dennis sprinkles his last over here like, oh yeah, that was in calculus too, mate. It's just wrong with me. No problem, mate.
Right, fine.
I think he definitely there'd be an OI because they're on an OI basis. Him-
Totally an OI basis, yeah.
Mm.
Press this mechanism, and he's gonna point to.
Now I'm emotional.
And he's gonna give it like. If
Oh,
I
yeah.
want like Chariots of Fire is playing, he's like
Dun, 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 dun.
hurl it to Hudson in slow motion.
As you hurl this thing, it is. So I don't mean to pause here in the middle of this amazing scene, but I feel like this. Oh my god, this is so fucking fantastic. All right, just everything that's happening, and the dice agreeing with us in that way, where Sprinkles got a 1 to figure this out and quicken up the process of like this thing that I'm sort of like making up on the fly mechanics wise, right? To just reward creative thinking. So basically this is the dragon's breath weapon that they are going to use against the dragon, essentially. I know it's not a dragon, it's a cat, but we use the dragon stat block, and that's what they're about to pull the trigger on, is the dragon's breath weapon. And I think it's just, it's so good. And I think there's something to be said as well about the fact that this is all happening. It's sort of like an anime moment where Darwin is still slow motion, like charging up the backpack. And I'm imagining throughout all of this, those shocks of electricity are still going across the entire room as, all this is happening. Everything gets illuminated from different angles now. As this last team effort, team combo is put together to make this work. And I just, this whole cast is amazing. And I cannot believe that the dice agreed with us so. Flying through the air, slow motion, Darwin smiling, resigned to his fate, supercharged backpack has leapt towards the cat. It is amongst this scene that Tobias takes his turn.
So much has happened in this round. I started playing Chariots of Fire too in my
Yeah.
headset, and it's
Me
fucking
too.
perfect.
I'm listening to other music and Chariots of Fire
Yeah.
will leave.
Yeah, exactly. So just like unsure of like just the escalation path that just happened essentially without him, as he's like essentially trying to like hold his like skin together. And he starts looking pretty awful, right? He reaches down, grabs the shotgun, and like because again, all this is happening like in slow motion. And like here's like what Hudson says, and he, you know, points it at the cat. Hudson, you're wrong. Your friend was already free, and fires.
Okay, I'm gonna do something that is against the rules, but is narratively amazing, and you are going to make your attack roll at the same time that everything else happens.
Great.
Hudson, you're up. You deftly catch this mechanism inside your claws, aim it towards the cat, and pull the trigger.
I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'm gonna try as much as I can after I catch it to just fly a tiny bit, so I'm less likely to hit Darwin.
Yeah, and to be clear, I wasn't trying to blow that situation up. That was my like just assistant in the triggering of the violence.
He was trying to save Darwin. We must protect Darwin at all costs. Unrepentantly so. I said what I said. I do it again because
I agree.
I looked down at the only coppers I ever had an ounce of respect for. Only coppers ever worth a damn, and I pull the trigger on this little laser trying to down this cat.
Because it is tech you are using, and this the attack that the cat was using is like a monster attack, which is not a roll. You are going to use a hacker check to get this done.
I've got a level 2, rank 2 in hacking. Although rules specifically talk about bypassing security device. So what
This is it is there are safety mechanisms on here that have to be disengaged first. So
Okay.
yes, this is bypassing security.
Okay. Purple sparkly dice has been doing all right so far. Let's see.
All right, as this attack is happening,
That's a
this
7.
attack happens.
Oh no.
That is a 7.
Oh no.
I need Tobias to also make his attack roll.
He rolled a 2.
Oh, nice! Hell
Yes.
yeah!
Well, I know that's bad for Hudson now.
As the laser blast from this part ripped out of the cat itself, slow motion begins to fire. The explosion comes out of the barrel of Tobias's rifle as you see several pieces of shotgun shot spread out towards this cat. Darwin, it is now your turn.
Okay.
You are in your last stand.
So he is honestly not really paying attention to the surroundings because for him it's quiet. Probably quiet for the first time that it's ever been because of his keen hearing. And he's more sure about what he's doing than he has been about anything in his life. His very short rat life. And he's tinkering, and as he's running, he's just pushing buttons and readjusting wires and not really sure what's going to happen with the overcharging of this backpack. And he right before he kind of like leaps, he just looks to Hudson and winks and then just jumps straight into the mouth of this cat.
You have 2 wires from the backpack, one in each hand, and they're getting closer together as you get closer to the cat, and sparks start to fly between them. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Darwin!
This be a straight 10. All right, I have 2 dice, right? Because last stand.
Because of last stand.
I didn't sign up for this.
Okay, the first roll is a 5. And the second roll's a 1.
Fucking what? Let's go! What?
Oh my God.
The dice are
That's
really
what I-
agreeing with us this night.
That's what you signed up for.
This is amazing.
Wow.
As you go right into the cat's mouth, as its head is slightly tilted to the side, it's only its upper jaw left coming down to slash at you. You plug in the last piece of your backpack. And as the laser and the shotgun shot are all flying towards you, there is a blinding flash, and you hear this as an electrical explosion fills the room. The screen goes entirely white, and it's quiet. It slowly fades back in. You can see pieces of the cat littered about the entire room. One of its eyes over here, its tail over there, a leg by the base of the door, all smoldering. Hudson drops the last piece of it to the ground as it lands with a deafening. All of you swarm Darwin, who lies there, smoldering again. Backpack, done. Nothing left of it but straps. You can see Darwin, his eyes open very slightly. He takes a wheezing breath.
Come on, mate, stop planting about. Get up, we gotta get out of here.
It looks like I found another way to be free.
No, mate, no, don't say that. No, we're getting out of here, you and me. Hudson and Darwin, we're gonna go break all the lampposts. We didn't say that. Nothing illegal's happening. We're gonna go find out how everything works.
Sprinkles is going to turn his back to this. He feels like this is, with reverence, something that should be private.
Well, I guess we did blow something up together, huh?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we sure did. And
So I apologize again for the pause, but this is one of the reasons I love being a content creator, especially running games on stream for groups like this, because you'll just, if you just watch me for the rest of the show, I do one thing, and that is guide the story to enter an epilogue and allow the players that survive to tell their story and what happens afterwards. Pretty much the entire last half hour of this one shot is just stellar role playing. Content warning, player character death, grief, sadness, etc. for anyone that made it this far. I think I'm just gonna press play and let this go. I don't know if I'm gonna pause anymore until the very end of this, because well, maybe I'll talk about the epilogue and how I organize that when it happens, but I don't do anything for the rest of this. It's all this amazing cast that I got to play with.
And this lab's next while we're on our way out, right? You're coming with me, mate.
I don't think I can.
No, don't say that. Look, one of you tossers got like a bandage or something. Don't you have like? Don't you? If you call an ambulance, like, won't they come quicker for you lot or something?
Question:
Hudson,
is there a window in this room?
No, wait. Yes, there is. We established that earlier.
I punch a hole through the window.
let me at least.
Glass shatters outwards.
I walk over to Darwin. Let's get you outside.
That would be really nice.
I'm going to somberly crawl up to Bias's bag.
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna try to just pick Darwin up as gently as my little raven claws can and put him on.
And yeah, I don't even feel it. Adrenaline's still going. Like whatever the glass, like I just make it happen. And I assume like on the roof, because on the second floor, I head to the roof.
With Darwin in tow?
Absolutely.
You get up to the roof. You find that window that leads out to more roof, and you climb out of it. Being very careful, you slip a little bit because the tiles are still slick from the rain.
And I have the clumsy thingy, so.
Do not.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the laser as I follow them.
More things change and more they stay the same.
I am a kleptomaniac at heart. Hudson is.
Uh, Darwin like grabs a piece of gizmo as he's being carried.
I think like Tobias will kind of look around and cause it's still nighttime, right? Or this it was raining early. It's still raining.
The rain has stopped, and the clouds, the thick, dark clouds, are parting to show the first reddish-orange glows of sunrise.
Yeah, I'll make sure that like Darwin is facing that way.
Yeah, mate,
And
we
just-
got you out, and you can see.
He just kind of backs up.
Never seen the sunrise before.
Well, this is just the first one, mate. First one. We got many more ahead of us, right?
Yeah, Hudson. We'll watch a lot of sunrises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch them, and then we'll make them maybe a little brighter by blowing up this whole bloody lab.
Yeah, I was against it at first, but I think you were right about a lot of things, Hudson. I'm sorry I didn't really believe you. I guess I wanted to believe that things were good.
I mean, nah, mate, you ain't nothing to be sorry for. Just hop on old Tobias again. We'll go get you all fixed up, and this will be just the first one of the sunrises we get to see.
I would really like that. But hey, Hudson, did you see the fire that I made?
I did, that one. I did. That was the best bloody fire I seen.
I think
Yeah.
I wish I got to really see how those lights worked. But I'm just so tired.
That's all right, mate. You just take a little nap, and we're gonna go get you to the hospital. And when you wake up, it's gonna be another sunrise, and not from behind your cage, and not in this bloody lab. And we're gonna go figure out how all the lights work, how the sewer works, all of it, mate, all of it.
Yeah. Why don't you find that out for me?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. You just you take your little nap, and we'll get you over to the hospital.
Yeah, I think
You're gonna be fine, mate. You're gonna be just fine.
yeah. You were a good friend, Hudson.
Me, nah, mate. You're the friend. You showed me all this bloody ingenious stuff, and you build all these sort of amazing things. You're a great friend.
He just kind of collapses into Hudson's wings and takes his last breath and falls limp.
Oh, Dennis, you're muted.
The light leaves Darwin's eyes, and his chest compresses as he breathes his last.
Critter, I think you might be muted. Or at least I can't
Am I?
hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
wait.
hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Is that any better?
Yes, yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna-
black, mate.
I'm gonna give a big old sniff, and I put Darwin down very gently, and I'm gonna turn back to the coppers, and Hudson's eyes are like red, almost bloody mad, and I'm gonna look at these two, look up at Tobias and down at Sprinkles. I'm gonna burn this bloody place to the ground, and I don't care if you got to drag me in. Just wait till I'm done.
You'll
I
go.
think Sprinkles is gonna have like a really somber moment because again, I think like on a meta level, there are like parallels between these two characters. Like both,
For sure.
there's like an irreverence, and Sprinkles is gonna turn to Tobias, and he's gonna say, "You know what? You're my best mate, and that promotion that you've been after, I think you just got it, buddy." And he's gonna take off the badge that he's had pinned, and he's gonna give it this tiny little badge to Tobias.
I think like there's just like of several seconds of just like processing and shock and like all the things that have happened is like the adrenaline of like the situation finally comes down. So I appreciate that, Gov. I think if you decide that you're going to put in your papers, I won't stand in the way. But I was wondering, and he's kind of looking at Hudson. I was kind of wondering if perhaps we perhaps found remnants of this strange creature, but nobody else. We didn't find anybody else. Just certainly still an investigation on the initial experimentation, but certainly there are other places. Does that sound about right, Dove?
Sounds good to me. And he's going to turn to Tobias. He's like, "You'll always be my best mate. It's not like I'm moving. Still going to come over. We can still go to the pub on Saturdays and get."
Oh, okay. I didn't. After everything that's happened, I didn't know. All right, yeah. That'd be good. Yeah, see the missus and all that.
Hudson. He's like, "Oi, what's this about burning this building down?"
No, I don't know, mate. You leave a few little sort of packages around, and then who's to say what happens when the flammable material comes into contact with an open flame like one of them Bunsen burners down there?
So interesting theoretical.
No, purely theoretical, mate, in that I'm about to theorize and then I'm going to do it.
Is there anything
with
that you
you,
want
mate.
us to do for Darwin?
Now, he was telling
Darwin?
me about these sort of ancient warriors, like, and you sort of burn them and you send them off to their people in the sky. And I reckon that might be about as good as I could do for me, mate. And I'm going to sort of start like trying to grab some sticks and twigs and build a little pyre for Darwin. And try to place it near and I'm hoping I can use my explosives crafting to sort of know up on the roof if there's a vent or a place if I started a fire that it would spread to the building from the roof.
Sprinkles.
As you begin putting all of this together, the three of you working together, there's a glint in Hudson's eye, and you're not sure whether it's mischievous or a tear. Flash forward. Been a few years.
Oh shit!
Sprinkles has retired. Tobias is now the leader on the force. And the three of you are dressed in your best as you come to this charred, blackened, square plot of land. Each of you carrying a single flower.
Time of year again?
It's good.
Now I am no longer muted. Before we go into the real epilogue, I again want to say this is as we've been saying in live chat, top fucking shelf TTRPG content. This is what I do this shit for. The sort of strategy I employed here was because I was looking at the clock, and I know even with all of this very good content, as a game master, you still have to be aware of what time it is and when people said we were going to end. It is not the thing you want to think about in moments like this, but it's necessary, because we could have roleplayed through that entire fire for another hour easily. Like this would have been amazing, and it would have been fun. But I wanted to do an epilogue, and we were already a little bit over time. So what I did was I participated by describing the scene, because that's what the game master can do. So I described Hudson's glint of you're not sure if it's a tear or if it's a mischief in his eye. And once I described that, the floor was mine, and so that's when I fast forwarded to several years later to do this epilogue. There are two kinds of epilogues that I like to do for one-shots or miniseries. The first one is what we do here, and it's a single scene where all the characters come back together. The situation in which they come back together is obvious to me at this point. It is a memorial service on the anniversary of this event, of Darwin's passing. And like, we didn't have to see the fire. It would have been cool, and like maybe concept art could show off a really, really nice fire of 3 people silhouetted against a burning building, and somewhere inside the fire you can see Darwin. Like, that would be amazing and super emotional, and we don't need to go through and describe that. Like, that is implied. And sometimes, not just with like horror, like with horror, when you don't describe something, that's when it's the worst it could possibly be, because the player's imaginations are the ones that fill in the blanks with what they're already scared of. The same applies to this, where you don't describe what happens and you don't necessarily see it in scene, but everyone knows exactly what happened. And this way, you don't have to make it the perfect scene that everybody is expecting. They make the scene themselves in their heads, both the players and the audience. So I didn't have to, like, skipping over that probably was the better decision, even forgetting about that we were over time at this point. The obvious decision to make it, a short scene with everyone, as opposed to the other thing that I like to do, the second, is ask each person individually what their epilogue is. Like, do we stay together? What scene, like, allow them to set their own scene for their character years after the events of our story. Sort of like scenes you get to see after the end credits or while the credits are rolling. And I think I'll get to do this. I did this recently in our One Piece game over with on Just the Humans channel. And it was great. Each person got to do their own epilogue. But in this case, I think this ended up being a story about, removing barriers and promoting unity and friendship and brotherhood, and coming together in times of hardship. And so the epilogue needed to show that this is what that story is about, is coming together. So the epilogue is with all the characters together. And I think that's all I had to say about that. How I usually do epilogues, why I chose to do a together epilogue this time around, and how I moved it from our final scene to the epilogue, and why that worked. No notes from me.
Good to see you lot.
Indeed. How's the missus? If you got one.
No, I'm living my best life, mate. You know that. Bachelor for life, this one.
And you, husband? How about you?
Now, marriage is a sort of institution of the government to control, mate. So I got a bird I've been seeing. It's actually a sparrow.
Oh, really?
You'd be surprised. I'm just thinking, if we do have chicks, they're going to have just the most gorgeous plumage with sort of my raven darkness and her sort of brown spotted spend. Anyway, yeah, she's all right enough.
Thinking about kids, are we? Is that right?
As long as we can keep them out of the sort of, we ain't going to have, not going to have any sort of social security numbers or any sort of way of tracking them. Like, we ain't even going to go for a birth certificate, mate. We're going to have them at home. So no government is involved.
As
As
expected.
the conversation
One sec.
continues.
One sec. One
Go
sec.
ahead.
One sec. Speaking of kids and misses,
You got some puppies, mate.
And you kept them, you dirty dog.
it just got through all the tests and everything. Do you think my firstborn being named after Darwin would be too much?
No, mate, I think that's perfect.
Hudson fully turns away and just got something in my eye, mate. Just got something in my eye.
Tell you know the dust and the onions over here, yeah.
I'm gonna put a little hamster arm on the back of Hudson's arm, and then if I can, I want to pull out like a human-sized blunt.
Yes.
For fucking Darwin, mates.
Sorry to interrupt, Dennis. I had to drop that bomb first.
By the way, guys, things are great up here.
As Hudson uses his explosive knowledge to light another pyre, if you will, we will fade out to black and roll credits on our game of sagas tonight.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
That was an amazing rewatch. I would love if every single game I ran was like that, to be honest. Like, endings like this are why I designed sagas the way I did, so we can go out in that blaze of glory, and with a cast like this, there is a very clear path forward afterwards of mourning a beloved character. And every single time that happens at a table that I'm running, I am forever grateful and thankful for everyone that is sitting at that table. I don't really have any notes for this. Like, this is fantastic. This was mostly not even me. Like, it was, the puppy bomb. That was amazing. It was wonderful. But this has been a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing this for sure many more times with other games that I've run. So if you're watching this and you've played another game with me that you'd like me to review, let me know. Send me a message, probably on Discord. Say, I would love to see you review your thought process and a rewatch, whatever game we played together, because this is amazing. I've learned a lot rewatching this. It wasn't just with this part 3. I've found that there are a lot of opportunities that were there for me, and rewatching it a second time, I see a better path forward that I did not take. And so I think that is going to open up my eyes to be able to see those paths forward when I'm running it live next time. See the best option for storytelling. A couple other rule stuff we did. Oh yeah, the 2-shot for sure with Easy D6 for charity. That oh man. I can't even think about that one right now. Not after the emotions of this one, because it's on the same fucking tier. But if you go over to see one of I think it was the first game we were in together, Jacob, was on the channel Atmoseeker. Great guy, fantastic stuff on his channel. He does mostly tabletop terrain and lighting and photography and stuff like that. Everything he does is absolutely gorgeous, especially the game he ran for us, or he produced for us. So if you go over to Atmoseeker on YouTube and go into his live streams, you'll see me on there twice. You'll see Jacob and I on there twice with the same spread of cast. Same characters, too. And those 2 games we played were amazing. It was using the Easy D6 system, which, to be honest, I haven't gone back to, mostly because of, the existence of sagas. We had a really good time. I would love to look through that one as well. I do have another one lined up right now. and that's for the Just the Human One Piece game. Oh no, I have another one lined up as well. Over on Talking XP, I ran another Sagas one shot. This was during or immediately before the Kickstarter for Sagas. And we did the Siege of Ba Sing Se. And Talking XP himself, the guy who produced the thing, played Lu Ten. And if you know, you know. It was a very similar story structure to how we went in this one. Except, the whole party was together the whole time. We didn't do the split party thing. Which reminds me, in hindsight, this split party thing right at the beginning of a one-shot to come together partway through worked amazing. This was so good. Like, this felt like it's a very common story structure to use in like actual novels and shows and stuff like that. And I've never seen it used well in a TTRPG before. And I think if you do it for a one shot where the parties are close together and you can rapidly switch between them, and something that happens to party one affects party two, then I think it works. At least for streamed games. Obviously there's the pitfall of, making people that aren't on camera wait and sit there and be quiet for, half an hour or so. But I think if you're streaming it and you have a cast that is okay with that, then 100%. I think I'm going to try this again before I give myself my final verdict on whether or not it's something that I'm good at. But I think it worked really well for this first trial run. Those are my final thoughts. This was an amazing game. Thank you all for watching, whether you're watching live or watching the VODs afterwards. And I think we will finally wrap up part 3, the final part of our one-shot run on ADH Druid's Twitch channel. Oh, man. This was fantastic. Thank you all for watching, and remember, everything is going to be okay.